Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome to another video. My name is Pure Noble. Now, today's video, I want to talk about a very good conversation and a very good debate that is happening within the Call of Duty community. And this debate and topic is around between sweaty and casual players. Things like casual players are ruining the game by reducing the skill gap, or sweats are ruining the game by making it too hard for the casuals. Casuals being targeted in casual lobbies for bullying and harassment, and sweats being discriminated as a group of kids who have no life or job that's on the game 24/7, and that's the only way they are good. Now, of course, there are many issues on both sides of the player base, right? But the one that I wanted to specifically call out to attention is the rude rhetoric of assuming players that are skilled at the game as individuals who make Call of Duty their entire personality. Someone who doesn't go out, who doesn't have a job, who they just stay in all day and play video games. Like, that's because of the extra time that they have of doing nothing else but play Call of Duty. That's the only reason why they were good and why they outplayed that specific player that's calling them out and saying these kind of things. And this rhetoric is heard everywhere. Streamers are saying it, regular players that are in the game, the players that come into my party are calling out players every time that they die. This rude rhetoric of constantly calling out these players with these remarks. And you know what's crazy is that even though sweats have a name or have a tendency to be technically the quote-unquote toxic player, most times you're gonna hear this type of call out from casual individuals, from players who supposedly play the game casually. Now, don't get me wrong, like I understand that there's friendly banter, right? There's friendly competitive shit talk that you would say to players, but most often on social media context, in the comment sections, people that are saying it in the game, on stream, it's more often not used as a rude jab to those players. And I think these are one of the unnecessary social issues that are happening in Call of Duty that I'm frankly tired of seeing. Because, like, for example, I am an early 9 to 5 blue collar roofer, married, family dad of 2. I only have minimal time to play, probably at most maybe 1 to 2 hours a night, sometimes shorter if I'm editing content. And guys, don't think this is a competition of who has less time, right? I'm just simply stating that I am in a very similar situation to other players who are supposedly calling these players no-lifers and jobless, but still having the ability to sweat in the game, to get kills, to get wins, to play at a high tier level. Because let's take a moment real quick. Let's kind of define what a sweat is. I put into ChatGPT what is factual evidence that you see online that would define a sweaty Call of Duty player. And the definition that it came up is someone who plays with extreme intensity, often in casual lobbies. It's not always casual lobbies. Using every advantage to win, think meta loadouts, slide canceling, drop shots, bunny hopping, etc. It's basically the game version of a tryhard. Some of the common traits include deploying overpowered or widely used meta weapons or loadouts, constantly employing movement tricks, slide cancel, drop shots, bunny hopping, blah blah blah, playing every match like a tournament, max effort, no chill, even in a casual settings. And the hard part about having these type of conversations, guys, is of course I understand that there's nuances to every single situation. We don't have enough time in a YouTube video unless you wanted to make it hours long to talk about every single aspect, because I'm sure just like how this casual situation where casual players are disrespecting other individuals who are skilled at the game, vice versa, I'm sure that there are toxic, sweaty players who are doing things like possibly just going into a casual Warzone lobby and not playing the game casually. They're playing like it's the World Series of Warzone. They're playing and they're so good that they can solo squad casuals, right? And they're essentially harassing those teams. Because, like, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I'm the type where I like to get wins. I like to get kills, right? So even whether it be a pub lobby, a rank lobby, a Warzone casual lobby, I'm still gonna have that same mindset and I am gonna still play at that same level. Is it because I want to bully casual players? No. Is it because I want to somehow just create top dominance in the Call of Duty space as the top dog? No, that's just how I play. Call of Duty is a competitive arcade shooter. When I get a kill, when I get a win, I get excited about it and I enjoy it. I have fun, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. for a sweat who wants to technically quote unquote try hard, and them trying hard is their version of having fun, all right, let them. Just like how casuals, their version of having fun is hanging out with the boys, getting a couple of beers and drinking while they're playing the game. Cool. They can do that. You're allowed to do that. There's no one that's going to shame you for that. Players who have this mindset really believe that they should be able to get on the game, get kills and wins without needing to try and spend some time improving in the game. So every time that they take a L in a match or in a gunfight, they don't want to actually self-reflect to see how they could have played that situation better. They would rather disrespect the other player by calling them jobless or kids who just stay on this game all day, because that's the only way they could have been outplayed. I remember growing up starting at Call of Duty 2. Anytime I took an L in a gunfight or a match, I threw some friendly banter here and there, but it was always a GG and tried to learn and improve to do better as a player. You know, I had the time back then because I was younger. But the thing is, that kind of mindset doesn't go away by age or the reduction of time that you actually get to play. Because in my circumstances of being a dad, a roofer, a blue collar worker that is working a 9 to 5, I still keep striving to improve and do better at the game rather than disrespecting other players who did better than me. And you know, I'm not trying to boast, you know, I'm not a saint. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any friendly banter. I just don't understand where we lost our attitude as players who went straight to pushing narratives on social media that all good players simply got nothing else in their lives and that's why they're good players. Because for me, I don't like not being able to get kills. I don't like losing. I have fun being competitive in Call of Duty, and I know I couldn't do that without trying to actively improve. So during my same limited game time that I have, I use it to practice my aim, to learning the best weapon loadouts, the best aim settings that work best for me, so that one day I can put myself in a position where, despite having the limited game time, you can still improve and be just as good as majority of other sweats in the game. I just hope that when I finally get to an age where it's actually affecting my gameplay, like my hand-eye coordination, I'm having a harder time to spot enemies because my eyesight is going bad, you know, I hope that I just hang it up as a player or just play at a casual level rather than trying to call out other players for being too good. I would take the L, say the GGs, and move on, and I think that's what other players should do. But that's my main rant that I wanted to do in this video, kind of an observation that I'm seeing in-game, in social media, and I just don't understand where this is coming from. I don't know if it's just players are salty, or maybe the cheating situation is getting so out of hand that players lose that competitive spirit and that attitude. I just don't understand. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy the video, please drop a like to the video. It would help it tremendously in the algorithm. And if anything, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to see you here for the next video. All right, fam? Take care. Stay pure. Stay noble. Hashtag bring back honest gaming. Take care, guys. Noble out.